This is psychological warfare. This is manipulation layered on top of betrayal, layered on top of secrets so dangerous that one wrong move could destroy everyone involved. And the craziest part, the people who should be figuring everything out are somehow still completely blind. Meanwhile, the real monsters are sitting back, drinking wine, celebrating victory, and erasing a woman from existence like she never mattered. That is absolutely brutal. And I need to talk about Randy first because, wow, this man came dangerously close to blowing the entire operation apart without even realizing it. So here's what happened. Randy was in the middle of following Smitty. This was Joey's assignment, a serious mission. No distractions, no mistakes allowed. The tension was already through the roof because Randy knew Smitty was moving suspiciously, and there was clearly something happening behind the scenes. Then suddenly, Hayley texts him, and this is where everything changes. Randy replies that he's busy. He's focused. He's trying to stay locked into the surveillance. But in one tiny moment of distraction, 1 second, Grayson arrives and takes over, following Smitty at the exact perfect time. That timing was insane. Absolutely insane. Because Randy still doesn't know who Smitty was going to meet. And do you all understand how important that is? That means Jacob is still protected, still hidden, still operating in the shadows. The entire secret remains intact simply because Randy looked away for a moment. 1 moment. That's how dangerous this game has become. Every second matters now. Every distraction is lethal. And honestly, I think this scene proves something terrifying. Fate itself is protecting Jacob right now. Because the odds of Grayson arriving at that exact second are almost unbelievable. It felt orchestrated by destiny. Or maybe by chaos. And chaos is definitely winning right now. But then the story gets even crazier because we finally discover why Hayley wanted to meet Randy. And honestly, I was stunned. Not because Hayley was manipulative, we already know she's manipulative, but because of how comfortable she has become with evil. That's the terrifying part. Hayley wasn't panicking. She wasn't nervous. She wasn't afraid of being caught. No, she wanted to celebrate. Celebrate! That alone made my blood boil. She tells Randy his plan worked perfectly. Perfectly. She's practically praising him like some criminal mastermind because Vanessa fully believes Lynette's disappearance was real. And hearing them casually discuss Lynette like she's just some inconvenience they successfully erased from existence, that was chilling. Absolutely chilling. Then Hayley starts drinking a lot. And suddenly the entire scene becomes even more dangerous because drunk people in these stories always become ticking time bombs. Always. The alcohol loosened her up, and once she started talking, the truth started spilling everywhere. She admits Vanessa offered for her and Bill to buy the penthouse that Lynette abruptly gave up. That detail is huge because it proves everyone around them is emotionally moving on from Lynette's disappearance. People are redistributing her life already. Her home, her space, her memory. It's horrifying. And then Hayley says something that honestly shocked me. She tells Randy that the way he made Lynette disappear without a trace was brilliant. Brilliant? I nearly screamed. Do you realize how cold that sounds? This woman is speaking about another human being vanishing as if she's complimenting someone's interior decorating skills. That is psychotic behavior. And it gets worse. Hayley admits she regrets not listening to Randy sooner because Lynette had been blackmailing her. So now we finally understand part of the emotional motivation behind all this madness. Hayley was exhausted, cornered, terrified of exposure, forced to lie constantly to Bill. But here's the thing. I still don't feel sorry for her. Not even a little. Because instead of escaping the lies, she became the lies. She crossed the line. And now she's drowning in deception so deep that alcohol is the only thing numbing the guilt. That's why she drinks so much in this episode. Not because she's happy. Not really. She's unraveling. You can see it. The freedom she feels is artificial, temporary, fragile. She's pretending everything is under control, but deep down, she knows one mistake could destroy her entire life. And then comes the scene that made me want to throw something across the room. Hayley goes to Bill's office, completely drunk. Drunk? She can barely hold herself together, and Bill immediately notices something is wrong. He asks why she's drinking. He asks who she was with. And at that exact moment, I was screaming internally, Bill, open your eyes. Seriously, how can one man be this oblivious? I'm sorry, but I cannot stay neutral here. Bill frustrates me beyond belief. The warning signs are everywhere. Everywhere. Hayley is practically collapsing under the weight of her lies right in front of him, and he still treats her like she's innocent and fragile. It's unbelievable. This woman has been manipulating him for who knows how long, and he still trusts her completely. That's why Hayley keeps getting away with everything, because Bill refuses to see reality. Honestly, it's embarrassing at this point. And what kills me is that this was the perfect opportunity for Bill to uncover the truth. Perfect. Hayley was drunk out of her mind. Her emotions were unstable. Her guard was down. If Bill had pushed harder, if he had started asking sharper questions, if he had played into her confusion for just a few more minutes, she might have confessed everything. Can you imagine that scene? Imagine Hayley staring at Bill through blurred vision, thinking he's a hallucination, accidentally revealing the entire scheme involving Lynette. That would have been explosive television. I'm talking absolute destruction. The kind of confession that changes the entire story forever. But no, Bill completely misses the opportunity. Completely. Instead of investigating the woman literally falling apart in front of him, he redirects all his energy toward Tomas and Kat. And this is where my frustration reached nuclear levels. Bill starts threatening Tomas, demanding that Kat stop participating in the investigation. He even threatens to fire him. Why? This makes no sense to me. Bill claims he's trying to protect Kat because Lynette may be dangerous, but honestly, I think he's making the worst mistake possible because Kat is probably the only person actually capable of uncovering the truth. She's asking questions. She's digging deeper. She's finding clues. And Bill is trying to shut her down instead of helping her. That's madness. Then Bill calls Detective Keegan and basically pressures him for not progressing fast enough. Again, completely missing the real issue standing directly in front of him. Hayley. Hayley is the storm. Hayley is the danger. Hayley is the living, breathing red flag waving in his face. But Bill is so emotionally trapped that he cannot see it. And honestly, that's tragic. Because I genuinely believe Bill is walking straight toward disaster. The irony here is brutal. Bill thinks he's protecting people, but his blindness is exactly what makes everyone vulnerable. This is why I think Kat absolutely needs to stay involved in the investigation. No question. No debate. Let her investigate. Because the deeper Kat digs, the faster this entire house of cards collapses. And once Kat starts connecting Lynette to Hayley, everything changes. Everything. That's when Bill's fantasy world shatters. That's when the manipulation ends. That's when the war truly begins. Because right now, Bill still sees Hayley as someone who needs comfort and protection. But the moment he realizes she may have helped orchestrate Lynette's disappearance, oh, it's over. Over. And can we talk about Randy for a second again? Because I don't think people fully understand how dangerous he has become. This man is operating like a ghost. He manipulates situations quietly, efficiently, ruthlessly. Even Hayley admires him now. That's terrifying. When the villains start congratulating each other instead of panicking, the situation has spiraled completely out of control. And yet, despite all their confidence, I still think cracks are forming everywhere. Hayley is unstable. Randy is getting careless. Bill is suspicious even if he's blind. Kat is getting closer. Keegan is under pressure. Smitty is moving in secret. Jacob is still hidden. This storyline is becoming a battlefield from every direction. Every direction. Nobody's safe anymore. And I honestly think the biggest ticking time bomb isn't even the investigation. It's Hayley herself. Because drunk guilt is unpredictable. One emotional breakdown, one slip up, one emotional confrontation with Bill, and the entire truth detonates. That's what makes this storyline so addictive right now. The tension never stops. Every conversation feels dangerous. Every lie creates three more lies. Every character is either hunting someone, hiding from someone, or betraying someone. This is war. And what terrifies me most is how emotionally detached Hayley has become from Lynette's disappearance. She talks about it like a completed business transaction, something efficient, necessary. That lack of humanity is horrifying. But maybe that's intentional. Maybe this story is showing us what happens when fear and blackmail slowly corrupt people until they no longer recognize themselves. Because I don't think Hayley started as a monster. I think she became one step by step, lie by lie, secret by secret, until finally there was nothing left except survival. And Randy? He weaponized that fear. That's why their dynamic is so dangerous. Randy gives Hayley solutions. Terrible solutions, violent solutions, permanent solutions. And once someone starts relying on that kind of person, there's no easy escape anymore. Meanwhile, Bill is standing in the middle of this hurricane without realizing the storm is literally sleeping beside him. That's the tragedy. And I swear, if Bill continues ignoring the obvious signs, he deserves every shocking revelation that's coming.